everybody, and welcome back to the Star Wars Expanded Universe, narrated by Disney, Oracle and Lucasfilm, whichever way you slice it. Legends. Disclaimer, still getting over a cold, so if I cough or anything, that's why. Also, second disclaimer, the Clone Wars. Very jumbled era in the EU, in big part due to the 2008 show, but also just because of some other things, just because of how much content there is in here. So, there is no exact definitive timeline for everything. So my timeline might be slightly different from, like, I don't know, Matt Wilkins, or maybe some other EU people you watch. So just a little disclaimer there, that mine will probably be unique to some others you might see. Anyway, today we only have a couple things to talk about. We have 2 short stories, a comic book, and a young adult novel. Starting with the 2 short stories, we have Hasbro, Stormfleet. It's just a short little story made by Hasbro called Stormfleet Warning by Jude Watson. Nothing really happens in it. It's only 25 pages, so it's nothing that you need in the Star Wars Expanded Universe. But Anakin and Obi-Wan are on a mission, and they fight some people and win, of course. And that's pretty much it. It's a decent story. It's not bad or anything, but it's only 25 pages. It's not something you really need in your life, but it's there if you want it. And so that's where it would be chronologically. For me, anyway. Up next, we have the other Hasbro short story, because Hasbro, for some reason, decided to make a bunch of short stories for Star Wars, because Hasbro is cool, I guess. And there was another short story titled Duel. Get this, by Timothy Zahn. Yes, the heir to the Empire man himself. The Thrawn man. It's fine. Again, it focuses on Yoda with some clone troopers. It's a typical Filoni Clone Wars episode, I guess. It's pretty okay. It's fine. This is, not something you need to get your hands on, but if you read it, it's pretty okay. The next thing we have is Shock T, a one-shot comic. This one was pretty good too. Quillen Voss is in it, a character who was in that boring Honor and Duty story. That was like right in between the Clone Wars. That was okay. But yeah, this story was pretty good. We get a bit more personality out of Shock T. We get to learn a little bit about her past with the character that pops up, so that was cool. Quinlan Voss is in it. He's as cool as he always is. And overall, the story was pretty decent. I enjoyed it. Plo Koon's in it. And I like that all these one-shots kind of like, they're not necessary for the main comic book run, but they help, flesh out some things. And so I really appreciated that. And overall, I really enjoyed it. And then we have Boba Fett, young adult book 4, Hunted. So we're, of course, I don't know, I want to say 5 months into the war at this point, maybe 6 months, almost half a year. Boba Fett is still the 10-year-old that we saw in episode 2. We're still looking at little boy Boba. But this is the book where he finally meets Jabba the Hutt for the first time. Now, what I really like about that is that Boba, throughout the expanding universe, has a big history with Boba, with Jabba the Hutt. Not to mention the fact that episode 6, he's at Jabba's palace. In episode 5, he's working for the bad guys. So we know that Boba Fett has this big history with Jabba the Hutt. And here we get to see Kid Boba first be introduced to Jabba the Hutt. And I just really think it's really cool with the history that the two of them have. And what Boba will become. Like right now, he's still just a little boy trying to become that bounty hunter. But one day he will be the bounty hunter, even overcoming Dirge, who's so cool. Speaking of which, slight spoiler, Dirge is in this book. Dirge is in this book. I mean, he's on the cover. You saw it in my thumbnail. But what? A comic book character in a young adult novel is so freaking cool. I love Dirge. But we do learn some interesting stuff. This isn't big spoilers because it's not a part of the main plot. But I'll just save it. I only wrote a couple things down, just on the off chance you don't want to know anything going in. But yeah, so he meets Jabba and does a mission for him. Sorry, and Dirge is also there. Overall, this is my favorite one of the Boba Young Adult series so far. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. A short one. If you guys enjoyed this video, give a thumbs up. Sharing helps it a ton. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. For those of you who don't care about spoilers, I don't really have too much to say. Just a little fun little notes that I wrote. One being, Dirge hates Mandos. And this is why Dirge has the Mandalorian symbol on his chest. He's apparently been tortured or imprisoned by Mandalorians at some point, and so he holds a hatred for all Mandalorians. He also holds a hatred for the Jedi, but the Mandalorians are almost just as strong, and I thought that was super interesting. We also learn in this book that Dirge is 2,000 years old. So this guy's been around for a bit. And of course, by the end of the book, I don't know if this is the jetpack. It may just be like an early one that he has and he gets a better one later. But Boba Fett gets a jetpack by the end of this book. And it was really cool to see, the start to this great bounty hunter. As, the past 2-3 books he's been, just this kid trying to survive. And now he's finally starting to take on that persona. He's starting to wear the helmet more. Starting to become the Boba Fett that we'll see in the original trilogy. So I thought that was really cool. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give a thumbs up. Sharing up's a ton. Up next, we have the Clone Wars 03 Adventures comics and the 03 series cartoon as well. So I hope you all join me for that in the next episode. Until next time, guys, may the Force be with you.